Hey YouTube, and thank you for watching Junkworks Garage. So, something you're kind of not supposed to do, but quite honestly I do often, is leave the ramps on when I lift it. Quite honestly, I haven't had any problems with it, but my mom did come in here and whack her head on it the other day, so I went and bought some of this and put along there, and I also have it all the way along the whole thing right there. So a little bit of extra safety. When I get my floor clean, I'm also going to put some across here, but my floor is not clean enough to put that down yet. But hopefully that keeps people from whacking their heads. And quite honestly, those are just pretty stupid heavy, and if I need to, I'll take them off, but for the most part, I'm not back here doing anything, and as long as I mark it, everything should be okay. Anybody whacks their head again, I'll probably start taking them off. We got this hanging here off the bottom of my lift, getting ready to wash it down and paint it. This is a gas tank, or fuel tank I should say, off of my Massey Ferguson tractor. So if you want to go watch me play with my tractor here, go check out that video. Well, I already did a video on this, kind of on these particular lights that I've built. I call them, my first one I built there was for the underhood light, and then I went and they had a sale on them at Harbor Freight again, so I bought 4 more. They're just these Harbor Freight lights here, LED lights. They work really good. I put magnets on them and they stick very well. So when I have it up, I can see really well at whatever's underneath it when I'm doing stuff underneath it, such as sweeping my floors. So anyhow, thought I'd show you that as a little bit of a hack there, in case you're like me and you're kind of in a tight area where this takes up a lot of the garage. So when I'm not using it, I put it up in the air and work under it. So this just gives me a lot more light. I actually personally can walk underneath this. If you're a taller person, I'm not all the way to the top here, so I leave it about here. But I can walk underneath all these the way they are, so I'm happy with that. So this is a tip and trick where I am going to say, if you do anything I do and you hurt yourself, I am not responsible. If you don't like the way I'm doing something, don't do it. And you are responsible for your own safety. But when we'll just say when I don't have a car on it and I'm lowering it down, it's quite slow. And my shoulder, I've had one shoulder surgery, my shoulder wears out quickly. So what I do is I got one of the bolts that actually came in the packaging of this for putting it together. I stick that in between here and here and keep that open. Then I can just hit this, stand back, and let it do its thing. Yet again, you're responsible for your own safety. Don't forget that in there. Go lift in a car and not have your safety catches. I got this up on the lift. I got it up a little bit higher. Now I noticed this the other day when I was working on my security wires, replacing all this stuff. I was working under the dash and bending over and couldn't quite get things where I wanted them and stuff, and then I thought about this. You know, I don't have to bend over anymore. Now I can walk straight in, and that's where my hand goes. So I can be up underneath here messing with this stuff. I can get all the clips and screws into this without bending over. Pretty much with the seat all the way back, I can come in here standing up, or at least leaning against the seat, and do a lot of under dash stuff that before I would have had to really twist and hurt myself basically trying to get it done. Yet again, don't get old. Regardless, just another little tip and trick for using one of these lifts that I have noticed that has really helped me. It was so nice once I thought about it for a minute. Luckily I did it fairly quickly, and when I was doing all this wiring up underneath here, I can stand up straight and I could do all this stuff down underneath here, the stuff that goes in there. It just made life so nice. This is probably one of the most positive things out of this lift that I have found yet, is working underneath the dash here. So there you go. Now you know. Well, I'm here working on the Explorer here and doing some stuff to hopefully fix a leak in the sunroof. So if you have that problem, go check out my 024 Explorer playlist. Gotta get a little plug in there. But the reason for this is the lift hacks or mods or whatever we're going to call it. Basically, right here, I'm pulling off the rear tail light here. Now I could leave this on the ground where it is and probably fairly easily get to this, no problem, no big deal. But I have the lift here, so therefore I can sit here without bending over, bad back, without bending over, and I can get to what I want, and I can put it wherever I need it to comfortably work on it. So just because you have a lift, it's not just, you don't have to just use it for things that are that are under the car so that you can make them overhead, but you can also lift things to the height where it's nice to work on. When I start doing some body work, I plan on lifting this up to where I can be comfortable in a chair, or if I want to stand, because you know, I have to sit, stand, depending on how I'm feeling for the day. I can lift this up and I can do body work on the side of a car comfortably without bending over. Plus, down under rockers, things like that. So, I don't know if this is a mod or a hack, but it sure is convenient that you can drop your wrench into a bucket full of fluids, be able to lift your rig up and find whatever it is you just dropped in your bucket full of fluids. But besides that, you know, I can lift this all the way up. I could walk underneath it. If I drop a wrench or a socket or something, whether it's down into a cradle of the car or into a bucket full of fluids or on the ground, I can lift it up, grab that tool, and not be crawling underneath the car. It is a very upside that I found quite recently happens with this lift. Not because of the lift, but because I'm clumsy. Alright, case in point. I was working under there, just dropped a wrench, did not hit the ground. And go over here to about where I think it's going to be, climb under there. Quite honestly, I've already done this, I already know. There it is, right there. I'm not crawling under the car. I can hopefully get this to unhook. Of course, because I'm videoing it, it's not going to work. So we both know that's still going to be easier than if I was crawling under the car. Alright, and there it is. Thanks for watching Junkworks Garage, where I'm proud to say I'm a jack of all and master of none. You all have a good one.